Welcome to the hottest grappling show in Arizona. The Valley is home to an amazing grappling community. Join us as we roll through the top jiu-jitsu schools in the state. Our goal? To highlight incredible instructors, their academies, and their amazing journeys through life and jiu-jitsu. It's not the destination, it's the journey that counts. Welcome to Rollin Through the Valley.
Now we have my day you need to cross to go to my side again. Push like that.
Sills here, rolling through the valley. Here we are at Marcio Andre Jiu-Jitsu, and with me is the man himself, Marcio Andre.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being
you.
on the show. I know you're a busy man, so this is awesome to have you.
Thank you for coming.
So I'm super excited to get to know you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so my name is Marcio Andre, so I'm 29 years old. I trained jiu-jitsu my whole life. Pretty much. I am a no-gi world champion.
Yes, sir.
I won Europeans a few times. You know, my whole life was related with competition. So I love competition. I love compete. So I love to teach. I love to teach jiu-jitsu. I love to show jiu-jitsu for people. I like what jiu-jitsu does. You know, how strong is in people's life. And I love my family, and I love my gym, my place. So yeah, that's me. So what more I can say? I think that's it.
Lots of love for jiu-jitsu. So tell me how you got into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so I started jiu-jitsu when I was 12. I started jiu-jitsu with a bad intention. So was like what brought me to jiu-jitsu. So I started jiu-jitsu to start fighting more in the street. So I used to fight so much in the street. So and then my friend he used to do it every day in the street when he was fighting. And then I used to look at him doing it. I was like, hey, what is that? And he was like, man, that's jiu-jitsu. I was like, oh, I love it. Like, can you show me a little bit and this and that? I was like, no, let's go there in the place I go. So I don't go too much because the coach always complaining with me because I'm fighting the street. Right. But I already know a lot, so you can go there and learn. I was like, okay.
And how old were you?
I was 12.
Okay.
So and then I went and I was like, okay, amazing. Let's learn that. Yeah. And then my first contact with jiu-jitsu was fun because he brought me to the gym. I didn't know you could not step on the mat with the shoes, and I was with my hat and my shoes, my flip-flop, and then I walk inside of the mat, and the coach was like, hey, what you doing? He slapped me in the ear. Boom! And it was like, hey, if you want to train, you sit down outside, and then you can maybe train. We're gonna talk at the end. And then he made me wait so long. I was like, man, I'm gonna leave. And at the same time, I was like, I want to do it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna stay. And then I stayed, and that was my first day of jiu-jitsu after that. So and then I started jiu-jitsu, and actually little by little my intention was changing when I was learning. You know, I started competing and seeing that like it has much more in jiu-jitsu than just violence and beat people in the street, stuff like that. Because I wasn't going to just defend myself. I was going there to actually try to beat people, you know, for no reason. And jiu-jitsu start teaching me different lessons and things that I could have done better. And that's what I love so much in jiu-jitsu.
That is amazing. So just want to know, where does all the aggression come from? Like, why did you start on the streets? Like, where does that all come from?
Yeah, so my dad died when I was 2. My mom had a problem, a disease. She has no kidneys, and she has to do dialysis. She had cancer. She used to do like diabetes and stuff. She was really sick, and maybe because of that, I was more in the street. You know, she had to work. She had to go she had to wake up 4 a.m. to go to the hospital to do the dialysis, pretty much, you know, every other day. And I was pretty much in the street all day, you know.
Oh, wow.
So in Brazil, that's really common, you know, the kids stay alone and stuff like that. And my teacher, my father, pretty much was the street. And if you're not tough, where I come from, you know, they're gonna kill you. So I kind of put a mask to become the toughest one there, and to kind of protect myself, to kind of like be safe. So that was what I did to survive, pretty much. And I was little by little growing into it. But the good thing was that I was able to find jiu-jitsu and change everything. So I realized that I had persons that was nice. I realized I had another life for me. I realized I had way more out there. And I was like, okay, so that's a different group. And I realized that every time I was with the old friends, I was the one person, and then when I was with the new friends of jiu-jitsu, I was a different person. And that I kind of like the person I was when I was in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And that forces me to stay a little more inside of the mats and training and do what I love to do.
So jiu-jitsu teaches a lot of life lessons. What does jiu-jitsu mean to you, and how does it relate to life?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu teach so much lessons. I think the discipline that brings, the respect, you learn how to respect people, because if you don't respect, you're gonna be forced to respect. Yeah. So jiu-jitsu teaches that so much, and the discipline, you know what I mean. You know that has boundaries. You know, you need to respect your mat. You need to has discipline inside of this mat. So I love it. I love the commitment that I got after start jiu-jitsu. You know, I was more commitment. I was more committed, and I love jiu-jitsu so much. It means everything to me. So it's my whole life is where it changed everything. Is where it clicked. It's even hard to talk because I don't know my life without jiu-jitsu anymore. Right. You know what I mean? So I was 12. I remember a lot of bad things, and when I started jiu-jitsu, it was just a game change. I started seeing that I was able to do something. So I was not good at school at all. So it was really hard. Yeah, it was really hard for me. I went to the doctor, and he said I have ADHD and some other things, and that was really hard for me to focus in the school. And by the time no one talked about it, like for me, it was just, you know, I just didn't wanna do it. But it was really hard at first. Some days I was like, I'm gonna focus today, I'm gonna do it, and I couldn't. It was hard. Yeah. And when I was in jiu-jitsu, I could train for 4 hours straight, and people were like, hey, man, the class is already finished, I need to leave. And everybody was gone, and I realized after, it was like, oh, I was by myself. And that was all the time. And I realized that jiu-jitsu was something that I used to get on my zone, on my mode, that I was not thinking about nothing else. I could be there without food, without water, without nothing, you know, all day.
It's the passion, right?
Yeah, so it was something that really like clicked to me and changed my whole story.
So you didn't stay in school. You just trained.
I finished school because my mom, that was the only thing she asked of you. You know, like she was like, I just want you to finish school. I don't want you to, you know, if you don't want to go to college or nothing, but I want you to finish your school. And I did. I was able to finish. I was really good at copy and paste, so that's what I pretty much did to pass. Right. So I was, you know, I passed my whole time training, but like I go to school, got like some friends' notes, you know, and copy and paste.
But you knew your path was jiu-jitsu, right?
I knew since the beginning. Right. I knew since the like pretty much first
since
day.
You started.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew I was going to be good at that. I kind of was able to figure out really fast what would make me better, and I was able to do it.
And so your mom supported you doing jiu-jitsu because
Yeah.
it took you off the streets, right?
Yes, my mom was like was my best friend. She knew she was going to die. She knew it was just like it's not like you know what I mean. Everybody gonna die, but she knew she was going to die fast. And her goal, she always said to me, was like die when I was 18 because I couldn't take care of myself. And actually, that was exactly the age that she died, when I was 18. And she always pushed me so much, like to grow. Like she teach me how to cook. She teach me how to do everything by myself since young. So I know how to do everything. Because of that, people, my wife and my friends make fun of me because they like, you know how to do everything. Yeah, because I had to learn. I had to learn since young. I had to survive. So I learned a lot of skills since young. So that helped me so much. And yeah, so she always told me like, hey, I'm not here forever, and my goal is for you to grow and become like successful person. And she was always proud of what I was doing. She was always super happy when I was doing jiu-jitsu, and everything I wanted related with jiu-jitsu, she used to do every single thing to make happen, make possible. And even though we didn't have a good financial life, but she was always there and pushing me hard to make things happen.
Was your goal to always be a world champion? Did you know that you were going to be an instructor, or is this all like...
Nah, yeah. My goal wasn't to be a world champion. My goal was to make money. Like, that was my goal.
Right.
So when I was young, I was yellow belt when I did my first blue belt adult open class, and I won. And it was 100 reais. By the time it was like $50. And for me, that was a lot. And I was impressed. It was like, oh, coach, they always has those kind of competition that pay money. He was like, yeah, like a lot of competitions like that pay money and stuff like that. I was like, I really can make money with jiu-jitsu. He was like, yeah, especially if you become a world champion black belt. And then was the moment I realized that I had to be a world champion black belt. But my goal wasn't to be a world champion black belt. I was going to use the world champion black belt to become successful. You know, but my life started going to a different path, a different way that was, for me, was better, because I was able to like become way more successful. You know, like I was able to open my gym. I was able to go to Abu Dhabi to start teaching jiu-jitsu. And I started teaching more actually because I hurt my knee and I had to do surgery. I actually, right after I got my black belt, 3 years before that, on the other belts, I tore my ligament, and then I fought for 3 years without ligaments, and that was really hard, and the ACL. And then I was able to win worlds as a brown belt, and my coach gave me the black belt. And then I won Europeans, Brazilian national no-gi. I won some other tournament, and then I went to Abu Dhabi. I was living there. I was like, had a chance to do surgery. I did surgery on my knee, and it was the moment of my life that I thought I would not be able to come back to jiu-jitsu because, you know, it was really bad, the surgery. Everything was terrible. I was like, I need to learn how to teach. I need to learn what make people better. What's efficient to make people learn, to make them better and improve fast. And then I started studying. I used to go to the gym, sit down there with my crutches in the corner of the mat, and start making notes of what works and what doesn't work, and start like studying so much. The focus I had to jiu-jitsu is crazy, that I could study like for one straight day, and Brenda had to come and like, hey, you gotta stop because you know you didn't eat yet. And that was insane. So I passed pretty much 3-4 months doing that straight, and that helped me so much to help people to get better. And then I started teaching more, started doing stuff. And then when I felt better, I was able to come back and start doing competitions again and win tournaments and actually be even better than I was.
So tell us, what are your thoughts on competition, and do you think it's for everyone?
Yes, I love competition. I think it builds so much on you, you know what I mean? And every person gonna have a different goal to competition. You know, some person's not gonna like it, of course, but I think competition helps so much in your confidence. Be able to go somewhere with like with the schedule and fight someone is really challenging, you know, and everyone should feel the challenge a little bit. And I'm not talking about be a world champion. I'm not talking about be the best, be a competitor. I'm talking about put yourself out of your comfortable zone and go and challenge yourself. That's going to be so important, you know, especially if you're young, if you're a kid, that's so important for your development. So I think competition, it's a big piece of jiu-jitsu in my opinion. Like make jiu-jitsu, completes jiu-jitsu so much. Because if you just come and train, that's going to be amazing. But be able to put yourself in a safe place and compete, it's good. Because imagine you go to the street and you need to defend yourself, but you're not even able to fight someone that, you know, gonna not punch you, not kick you. They're just gonna do the same thing you're doing. It's just jiu-jitsu. If something happens, you just tap. So imagine a real situation, you know. It's the same, it's pretty much the same adrenaline. I used to fight so much in the street when I was young, and the feeling of fighting is the same thing. It's like the adrenaline, the, you know, the fear of something happens, you know, the concern about what people are gonna say, or if you lose, people, they're gonna talk, they're watching. So, and we need to overcome that somehow, because that's part of the process, part of the, you know, of jiu-jitsu, and I think competition is really important.
Okay. So I love this question for you specifically because you're a world champion. What is your mindset like going into a competition? Like, how do you prepare yourself mentally?
I think I had a bunch of phases of mindset. I think I had a bunch of moments. I had a moment that I was invincible, like in my head, like no one could really get close. I got moments that I was kind of confident, and I had moments that I was zero confident. I was like, I'm gonna lose for sure. So I always mention to my students that the confidence doesn't come before win. Confidence comes with victories. So as much as you win, more confidence you get, more confident you get. Because if you try to get confident to win, you're not gonna win. It's not realistic, because in the reality you're gonna be lying to yourself. You're gonna tell something that you don't even believe, you know. So the reality is you get confident when you start winning. And how you start winning? Training more, dedication, make your jiu-jitsu better, improve. Because if you don't do that, normally you're not gonna be able to get confident. So as much as you win, more confident you get.
How do you prepare your students for competition? So the children and the adults.
Train so hard. Train hard. That's how I learned. I never saw another way. If someone knows another way, tell me, because training hard is really hard. But training hard, it's how we prepare them. Like all of them knows how is to be in hell, and you know they know how to deal with that. You know, that's why some moments we are about to lose, and they can overcome, and they can, you know, do better, and most of the fights gonna look so much easier than they're trained, and that not gonna be a problem. And also the technique, skill, of course, the skills is pretty much the #1, but you know.
Do you have competition classes, or do you just run all your classes sort of like a competition and just train hard every class, or like how do you prepare yourself?
We have some, like right now we're doing, like we just started a camp training for Europeans, 8 a.m. Normally we do 7 a.m. to like 11, or 7 a.m. to 10, and then they stay to 11. We drill a lot. We train hard. So the regular classes is pretty much same. So a lot of people sometimes get concerned, like, oh, but how the other persons that don't compete or is not a competitor does. So every person I push different in the class. So they have individual attention, you know. So if one person is a competitor, I push him more. If the other one is not, I push him less. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna push him. I'm gonna push him on his way.
You know, everyone's goals.
Exactly. So that changed everything. So I'm not doing something in the class that forces them to work the same. So they don't work the same. So they're doing the same thing, but they don't work the same. So, and that's the thing people confuse. So I don't need to create a different class for them to work well. So they need to know their goal and push themselves hard and well. So, you know, so you can be in a white belt class and make a black belt high level competition class.
I love this question. Tell us about your very first competition experience.
Yeah, so to be honest, I remember who was, because it was a friend. It was a guy from my school, you know. So, but I don't remember well. I just remember I won. So as a kid, I compete so much, and in the kids belt I didn't lose. So I was able to win all the tournament without lose. So that was something really good for me, but at the same time really bad, because only win is sometimes is not really good, because one time you're gonna lose, and that's hard. So you need to learn how to lose too. So, but to be honest, I don't remember exactly how it was, you know, the feeling. But I remember that was a lot of adrenaline, a lot of nervous anxieties, but I was able to go there and win.
What is one of the biggest lessons competitions have taught you?
It's fun because I mentioned a lot about respect, right? How Jiu-Jitsu teaches you respect, right? And I think I learned respect, because I remember one time in the black belt, actually, I was in that mode, in the flow that like every athlete wanna be, you know. It's kind of weird. Remember I said, like, I was in a moment that my head was like so confident that I knew I wouldn't lose. So, but you start getting in this mode that's really disrespectful, because I knew I was going to win. In my head, I was like, no one can get even close to beat me. And I got really like bad attitude. Like, man, what are you like thinking? What are you doing here? Like, should not be here, because you're not gonna win, you know. And actually, I was smashing everyone, and like I remember Gustavo Dantas was there. He was coaching, and he was like, "Hey, why you don't submit to save energy?" I was like, "Man, I'm not even close to get tired." And I had done already 2 mats, and it was 20 minutes. And actually, I was not even sweating, because I knew I was going to smash everyone. I had trained so much, and I had so much confidence, but that become disrespect. You know, I kind of pass. I pass the confidence thing. That's really important and good, and I become disrespectful. And Queixinho was able to like do a loop choke on me. I was winning. I think I passed his guard 2 times, and I was really like controlling him the whole fight. And until that point, I didn't receive not even one advantage. They scored not even an advantage on me, and I was like, okay, man, let's keep it smashing them. And then he did a loop choke. And I remember I rolled, and I thought I was rolling out, and in my head I was still awake, but I passed out in the first moment.
Oh, wow.
And in my head I was like, man, I'm gonna submit him because I'm angry, because you know he did an advantage on me, or 2 points if the referee gives, because I was angry, and I didn't even notice that I passed out. I was just thinking on my head. I was like, I need to come back and smash him now, because I'm angry, because he scored on me. And I was just thinking about it, but like I was out. And then they waking me up. I was like, oh, what happened? It was like, you pass out. And then I stood up. I was like, oh, okay. And then raised the hand, and then, man, it was so embarrassing. I was like, I come back home. I was feeling really terrible. I was like, man, you know, so I could respect that a little more. I could be aware. I knew he was good on those strokes. I knew, you know, I trained with him, but I was so confident how our training was to go, how the competition was going, that I was like superior. I was like, okay, I'm better. No, has no chance for him to beat me. So I couldn't see any chance for no one on that division beat me, and got too far. And that was one thing I learned with jiu-jitsu in competition that I bring forever. And I always say, hey, respect the person you're fighting. It's not too much respect to don't be weak and be like, you know, to don't be able to perform, but you need to respect to don't pay the price for something that you could avoid.
Right. Do you ever study your opponents before going into a match?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I study.
So you watch like their videos and how they roll and their training?
Yeah, I watch everything.
Awesome.
I like to be aware of what they can do. So of course, most of the times you already fought those persons, and you already know kind of what they can do.
Yeah, you kind of know everybody and their game, right?
And then it becomes a little easier. But like always, when a new fight comes, it's good to watch.
So what about so training? So of course you train very hard in the gym, but like do you do anything outside of the gym? Like do you work on your cardio? Do you lift?
Yeah, I just lift. Yeah, normally I just do workout, and that's it. When I was competing more, I used to do a lot of grip train.
Yeah.
So the competitors now they're gonna start again because the bigger competition is gonna arrive.
Right.
So they're gonna start doing more grip train. It's what I believe a lot, and yeah, but I do work out.
What about like food wise? Like, do you like to eat healthy? Do you like to like pig out every once in a while? I'm curious. I need to know.
I'm in seasons. Has seasons that I'm bodybuilding. Has seasons that I'm fat building. I eat everything. I fat, heavy. I get 100 kilos of fat. Yeah. But some moments I'm really in shape, I'm eating well, eating healthy, try to keep lean. So I always tell the students, like, my life was crazy. So when I was young, I used to have a hard time to have food. So I eat the first McDonald's when I was in America. So in Brazil we have, but it was really expensive, so I didn't eat.
It was expensive?
Yeah.
Interesting.
For me it was.
Oh, yeah.
So people, like where I come from, I couldn't eat, my time eat a McDonald's or anything like that. So, had some moments I didn't have food at my table. So right now it's kind of crazy because I have. So that's kind of, it's tricky because sometimes I know I can't, but like I remember those moments and it's so hard to don't do it.
Right.
So for them, they have a way easier life than I had, so it's different. And if they want to be the best one, I always tell them like, hey, you gotta eat healthy, you gotta do what you gotta do, and so you don't have that problem of, oh, I didn't have it and now I have it, and it's so. But I control myself most of the time, but sometimes I just doing too much and I lose focus and I just
So, what advice would you give your younger self or anyone that's just starting jiu-jitsu?
For myself, I would say just keep it going. Just keep it going because everything people does now of train 5 times, train a lot, I used to do it. So by the time people used to train 1-2 times a day, and that was a lot already, and I used to train so much, and people are started training more now. Maybe just take care of your body. Take care of your body. Don't hurt yourself.
Stay off the streets.
Yes, get out of the streets. Start jiu-jitsu early, okay? Because I was thinking already on jiu-jitsu, but like, if I would have come earlier, I would have say like, hey, go to jiu-jitsu and go train. And for people that already train, that start, so go slow, be patient, train as much as you can. Don't try to, thinking too much. I think the problem is when you think too much. When you think too much, you always messed up. I think what helped me so much was not thinking too much.
Just doing it.
Just do it. Yeah, like I didn't know too much. I didn't try to think too much, so just do it. I have students that they think too much, and that normally push them back because they like, oh, but this, but that. No, just do it. Just do it, and you're in the right direction. If you have a good coach, they're gonna tell you. If you're not, if you didn't say nothing, you're in the right direction. So just keep it going.
I know you're a world champion, super busy, but what are your plans for the future, and what are your plans for the gym?
Okay, for my future, I want to be world champion in 2024. I want to win the worlds again.
That is very inspiring.
I want to win. I want to win the ADCC. I want to win the World Pro again for some reason, and I want to do the Grand Slam on the black belt. So that's for myself, and also for my students. I want their achieve their goals. I want them to be world champion.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to live out of jiu-jitsu, make money out of it, make a live. I want them to success. You know, I want them to be better on their performance. So that's something we're gonna work so much. For the gym, I just want to keep it going the way it's going. You know, good people growing every day better. Yeah, I think the gym is just the way I want. You know, and I'm blessed to have this place and the students I have.
Awesome. Where can people find you on social media?
Instagram, Marcio Andre Jiu-Jitsu or Marcio Andre Jiu-Jitsu Academy. You can find us. You also can send, yeah, I think Instagram or my phone number 480.
You probably don't want to say that.
I don't care. They can message.
All right, say it then.
I talk a lot. If you send message on Instagram, I'm gonna answer. So a lot of people are like, oh, you answer. I say, yeah, I answer.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Awesome. And we're done.